Good morning, everybody. My name is Jake Miller, and I'm a senior at O'Connor High School. I have diabetes. I know that many of you are pretty familiar with the disease, but there are many others who don't really understand how it works, and I know that I can say before I was diagnosed, I had no idea what it was and what it took. I heard the term diabetic, and I thought, oh, that person has to eat a little bit better, maybe exercise a little bit more, and that's about it. So when I arrived at the Center for Diabetes and Glandular Disease Clinic, I was so surprised to find out that I'd be having to take shots every day, that I'd have to constantly check my blood sugar, monitor everything. This bag holds 42 needles. That's how many shots I had to take in 1 week. This bag has 56 smaller needles that I use to prick my fingers with to check my blood sugar. That's how many times I had to check my blood sugar in a week. Aside from all these shots, I had to count every single carb I ate. I had to do the math to figure out how much insulin I had to take, and this is every time I ate. I had to keep up with all of my supplies, and I always had to think, in the back of my mind, I just had to think about diabetes, no matter what. Of course, when I was first diagnosed, I looked at it as a positive thing, and I still try to. I thought, I can do this. All right, it's going to be okay. I have family and friends that support me, and it'll be all right. And it did eventually become second nature to check my blood sugar, take insulin, so on and so forth. However, just because it is second nature doesn't stop it from being the most stressful thing in my life. It is a hassle. It's stressful in really every way. I have to plan my life around it, basically. I don't have much of a choice. I really don't have any choice. Now, luckily, a couple of years ago, my doctor got me started on a pump. It's been great. I mean, this is a true testimony to the benefits of diabetic research. It allows me to take 1 shot every 2 days instead of 6 shots a day. So it is a huge physical relief. However, I still have to carry the burdens mentally and emotionally, socially, in every way. And there's really no way of getting around that. Even the physical, I still have to worry about it. One day I could lose a foot, I could go blind, I could have many organ diseases, and it's difficult to think about that. Now, I don't mean to sound like I'm complaining. I'm so grateful for everything I have. I have 2 well-employed parents who can provide everything that I need to manage my disease. But diabetes is a disease that does not discriminate. It affects babies, it affects the elderly, the rich, the poor, it doesn't matter. Did you know that 25.8 million people in the US are affected by diabetes? That is a huge number. I want everybody to keep that in mind. I understand that some may be sitting here thinking, well, why do I have to be here? This doesn't affect me. It's whatever. I'm getting out of work for half a day. I totally understand. But yeah, I just want to remind you that it can happen to you. You could be the one diagnosed with diabetes one day. It could be a family member, a friend, a student, a child. So please, this year, join with us. If every one person in here were to come together, we could change the world for millions of people. So please, let's work together and participate in this year's Step Out, Walk to Stop Diabetes. Thank you.
My name is Aaliyah Giroux, and I'm 10 years old, and here's my story about diabetes. I was diagnosed with juvenile diabetes in November of 2009 when I was 7 years old. Before I was diagnosed with juvenile diabetes, I wanted to drink a lot of juice, and my mom thought I was playing around, but I wasn't. I was using the bathroom a lot at nighttime, daytime, and the afternoon. Then one day I woke up and told my mom and dad that I wasn't feeling good, so they took me to the doctor. And my blood sugar was over 650. The doctor had me admitted to the ICU right away. The first day I was in the ICU, I wanted to eat food, but all I could eat was chips of ice, and I didn't know why I had to eat chips of ice. Life is really hard for me because my friends think they can't get diabetes from me, but they can't because you only get diabetes when your pancreas stops making insulin. When I was in the hospital, I could barely see anything, and I had a hard time talking or moving my body. When I was in the room, the nurses would wake me up every couple of hours to take my blood sugar and my temperature. Before I could eat, I would have to take a shot in my stomach. I got scared because I thought it would hurt to get a shot in my stomach. It really did. Life right now is really hard for me because I get very angry that I have diabetes and I wonder why I got this disease. I used to take shots 4 to 6 times a day, which really hurt, but now I'm on a pump. I don't have to take shots anymore. My pump gives me the insulin I need for meals or correct my high blood sugars.
Okay. And my name is Beverly Martinez. I'm a 4th grade teacher at Fernandez, and Aaliyah was my student last year. We're still pump buddies. So we have a lifetime connection. We're pump buddies. But I've been a type 1 diabetic for 21 years now. My journey with diabetes began at the age of 27. My pancreas just completely stopped working. All the classic symptoms, the blurred vision, the weight loss, tremendous thirst, constant bathroom visits, just like Aaliyah was talking about, led me to the doctor. And then 2 consecutive days of a fasting high blood sugar led to the diagnosis of diabetes. I spent 15 years taking the multiple injections every day, every time I ate, every time something went in my mouth, here goes a shot, you know. So thanks to the research, I'm now on pump therapy, and I just love it. It's just made such a difference in my life. Teaching with diabetes is a pretty big challenge. I found that the demands of the classroom sometimes keep me from testing the way that I should. Sometimes it just totally, I don't even think about it. So sometimes my control is not that great. And then, of course, dealing with the mood swings and the dizziness, confusion of the lows, the heart palpitations and lethargy from the highs. And it sure doesn't help that stress has the same effect on your sugar as sugar itself. So I'm thinking, am I in the right profession? I don't know. Because stress is the same as sugar, pretty much, with diabetes. But last year I did have the privilege of teaching Aaliyah, and she amazed me, inspired me with her knowledge of diabetes care. She sounded to me like a talking calculator. At a young age of 9 years old, she's talking and, you know, figuring her carb ratios and all, and what she's going to eat that day, and just so organized and so smart. Well, mid-year, Aaliyah switched to the pump during 4th grade, and we just had a bond. We shared a connection all year long. You know, I had the pump, and she got the pump, and like I said, we became pump buddies, and we'll be pump buddies our whole life. But anyway, we shared a connection, and we just understood each other's fight to live. Every day, it's a fight to live. But we have a little poem we found from a little girl named Nicole that we wanted to read.
Every day a finger poke, another finger poke, 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 every day for the rest of my life.
My stomach is like a pincushion, and my fingertips have calluses. Learning to live with my diabetes, it's been hard.
Everything seems so unfair to me. Now it's been a few years since my life was changed forever. But my life isn't over. I can live with diabetes.
I won't let it stop me. Now I help raise money for a cure that is badly needed. A cure will be found, I'm sure of this. Until that time, diabetes won't stop me.